each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest this divinity within by controlling nature, external and internal. Do this either by work or worship or psychic control or philosophy, by one or more or all of these, and be free. This is the whole of religion. Doctrines or dogmas or rituals or books or temples or forms are but secondary details. Each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest this divinity within. Welcome our respected young participants. Welcome to your very own interactive session, Youth Talk. Venue, Swami Vivekananda Ancestral House. And today we received number of queries from so many of our young participants from various study circles, predominantly from Delhi, Chennai, Hyderabad study circle. And all of you all are actually asking about positivity. How to be positive and how to change our attitude. That's the main aspect of today. That's the main area of today. How to be positive. Now, my respected participants, just think calmly. We are all positive beings. We tend to think that we need to be positive. It is because of ignorance level. But we are all positive beings. We are all. Positivity is our inherent nature. As so many of us used to think that we need to be spiritual, it is not at all like that. We are all spiritual beings having human experience. Same way, we are all positive beings thinking that we need to be positive, thinking that we are actually negative. Not at all. Negativity comes through society. Negativity comes through our input senses. Society dictates terms on us, and whenever society is dictating terms, society will try to show us that we are limited, but actually we are not that. That's why the main aspect is that whenever negativity is coming towards us, we must not register that, because that positivity, that positive impact is within us. And our great master Swami Vivekananda, highlighted on number of very important dimensions of us, extremely emphasized on number of dimensions which are actually within us. He highlighted number of our dimensions. He highlighted perseverance. He highlighted patience. He highlighted concentration. He highlighted fearlessness. That is one of the most important dimensions. Fearlessness and concentration, focus. Now, these dimensions are actually within us. We don't have to improve it. We don't have to just improve. No, just we got to realize, just we got to absorb, and just we got to observe the dimensions which are actually within us. That is harmonizing each and every dimensions. All the dimensions, we got to harmonize those dimensions, because those dimensions are inherent in us. Patience means waiting for the time. We got to show extreme level of patience if we really want to perform at the highest level. Perseverance is striving, sticking ability, that is perseverance. Concentration is unbroken attention. How long and how much we are fixing, we are going as per our objective. We are sticking to our objective and to our path. That is concentration. Unbroken attention, that is concentration. Focus is going beyond oneself. Flow, focus is actually going beyond oneself. And the highest, one of the most important dimension, one of the most important faculty happens to be fearlessness. Fearlessness, we are all born like that. Fearlessness. And fearlessness doesn't mean that absence of fear. No way. Fearlessness do mean that conquest of our own imposed fear, conquest of our own imposed confusion, conquest of our own imposed doubt about oneself. That is conquering our own confusion, doubt, and fear. That is fearlessness. It is not at all absence of fear. Everybody fears. That's a normal thing, because fear happens to be part of our sanskar. It happens to be part of our sanskar. It happens to be part of us from our very childhood. And the power to conquer our own imposed fear, those power is actually within us. We do have the extreme ability to conquer our own imposed fear. That is it. That's why we are all positive beings, because we are born with that power. Our great master Swami Vivekananda highlighted and emphasized that we are part of the extreme energy Amritasya Putra. He always marked us. He always highlighted on our inherent nature. Amritasya Putra is our nature, is the reality of our nature. He always reminded us that we are Amritasya Putra, means we are children of immortal bliss. We tend to think that we are not complete. We tend to think that we are limited. We tend to think that we need to be completed. We need to complete ourselves. Not at all. We are not at all like that. We are highly complete. We tend to think that for happiness, we need to be happy through something else. We tend to think that our happiness is dependent on any material, or our happiness is dependent on any geography, on any area, on any geographical area, or we tend to think that our happiness is dependent on any other human being. We tend to think such. It's only because we always used to consider us not complete. We used to think that we are not complete. That material or that geographical area or that human being is actually making us complete. It is not at all like that. We are born complete, and that is the power within, and that is the positivity within, and that's why we are actually positive being, and that's why positivity is our inherent nature. That's why Swami Vivekananda emphasized highly on divinity, manifestation of the divinity within. Manifestation of the divinity within. He highlighted on manifestation of the divinity within. Means we do have the divinity within. We just got to manifest it. It is not only about knowing. No, we are ignorant. That's the problem. But knowing is not sufficient. That's why he is highlighting not only on knowing, he highlighted on manifestation. And from manifestation comes practical Vedanta, practical spirituality, spiritualizing our entire life, spiritualizing day-to-day life, spiritualizing each and every activities and each and every steps of our life. And that is manifestation of the divinity within. It is not about only knowledge about the divinity. No, it is manifestation of the divinity within. Another aspect, what he really emphasized on oneness of all existence. Oneness of all existence. We are all unique. Just we got to think, just we got to realize that we are all unique, yet we are all interconnected with one another. That oneness of all existence is always there. That oneness, that awareness is equal, is same for each one of us. That's why it is oneness of all existence. That's why it is oneness of all existence. So manifestation of the divinity within and oneness of all existence, these two are the pillars of our entire life. What is life? What is life, my respected young participants? Life is nothing but series of changes. Life is nothing but a journey. We are all unique, and we are actually having our unique journey. We are all in our unique journey. You all, we, me, everybody of us are actually in our unique journey. And that journey refers to, it is not from one area to another area. It is not at all from one year to another year. That journey is entirely internal. Life is nothing but a unique journey. That unique journey is entirely internal. It is unfoldment, a journey of unfolding oneself, journey of introspecting oneself, journey of drilling down oneself, journey of self-observation. That is the most important aspect. Journey of self-observation and introspection. Extensive and intensive self-observation is the journey. Extensive and intensive self-observation is actually the journey. So, that is the main approach of our positivity. That is the main approach of our life. Positivity. We are all positive beings. Now, regarding the second query from all of you all, how to change our attitude? Now, we must try to concentrate regarding attitude. What are the dimensions of attitude? We must consider that we are actually observing just the surface level of attitude, of our attitude. It is, we can observe the superficial level of our attitude, just the surface level of our attitude. But the extreme level of dimensions and faculties on which our attitude is based on which our attitude is standing, it's beneath the surface. Is just beneath the surface, and that's why drilling down is extremely important. Now, if to concentrate on attitude, we got to consider some of the very important aspects of our attitude. Our attitude is highly dependent on our thought process. Whatever we are thinking, that is extremely important. Now, whenever we are thinking anything, whenever we are creating any thought, that is transferred into feeling. Thought manifests feeling. It's a normal thing. That's a normal process, because whenever we want to discuss about attitude, we must consider the thought cycle. We must consider our pattern of thought cycle. We got to consider thought cycle. What is the effect of our thought? So whenever we are creating some thought, that thought is transferred into feeling, and subsequently that feeling can be, or that feeling is transferred into our attitude. And then that attitude controls our entire activities. So thought controls our actions, thought controls our activities, but it is a chain sort of thing. Thought, feeling, attitude, action, and the repetition of the action is habit, and then comes personality in others' eyes. Repetition of action is habit, and that habit actually shapes our personality. So that's the chain, that's the cycle, that's the thought cycle. Now, if we want to change our attitude, then what to change? Just observing that very thought cycle, what we can see is that if we want to change our attitude, then we got to change our thought process. Just we got to change our thinking process. What sort of thing or how we are thinking, that just we got to change that. Our thought process, that is extremely important. So my young participants, my respected young participants, just we got to believe one thing, that we are positive being, and we do have that extreme ability to change our attitude. It's only because thought is created by us. Continuous internal communication is happening, but which one to register, it's actually dependent on us. So if thought is created by us, if we do have the ability, and if we do have that extreme power of controlling our thought, of observing our thought, then we can change our attitude. As simple as that. Our external expression, each and every expression of us leaves an impression. Just we got to believe these things, and we got to understand these things. Each and every expression of us leaves an impression. Our external expression depends on our internal communication. Internally, we are always communicating with oneself, inner communication always happening. Our external expression depends on our internal communication. We are thinking about the external expression, but that thought process or that thinking won't be enough. If we really want to change our external expression, if we really want to change our external attitude, then we got to change our internal communication. Intensive and extensive self-observation is required. Intensive and extensive self-observation is required, and intensive and extensive observation is required of our internal communication. And that's why our great teacher, our great master Swami Vivekananda extremely emphasized on unfoldment. That's why he said life is a continuous process of development and unfoldment, because everything is actually within us. Sir Albert Einstein so beautifully stated that life is just like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Such a beautiful statement. And for keeping our own balance, we got to move. Move means we got to learn every day. We got to unfold every day. That is moving. It's not physical movement. It's internal movement, because everything is internal. Everything is within us. Just carry on thinking. Just carry on thinking, and just carry on taking oneself very seriously, because we are all positive being. We are all positive being, and positivity is our inherent nature. Swami Vivekananda is part of our life, and we are all part of him. We are all part of this highest energy. We are all part of this entire cosmos. We are all unique, as well as we are all interrelated with one another. It's the biggest thing. We are all unique, as well as we are all interrelated with one another. Thank you, my respected friends. Just thank you. And carry on thinking. Just carry on thinking. All power is within you. Preach unto mankind their divinity, and how to make it manifest in every moment of their life. Believe in that. Do not believe that you are weak. Stand up and express the divinity within you. All power is within you.